Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Okay. So we're so happy that so many folks are here today. This is, as you know, a Shabbat morning service like we have every week. But what makes this even more special is that a member of our congregation, as you know, Ed, is going to be reading from the Torah this morning. And this is a great reason for us to come together and as a community and to celebrate not only his accomplishment, but to celebrate Shabbat together. And of course, everybody knows you're invited to a wonderful Kiddush luncheon next door immediately following the service. So please plan to join us. So Sheila is leading us in music this morning. Thank you, Sheila. And we have Rich Goldwyn is live streaming. So hi to the folks in Boston. And anyone else who might be tuning in, we're glad that you're with us this morning. We're going to start, as we always do, on page 68. This is what we Jews throughout the world say in the morning when we rise up. We thank God for restoring our souls and giving us the gift of life for one more day. Modeh, Moda, Ani. Moda, Ani, lefanecha, lelechai v'kayam, shechech tezata, b'nishmati v'chemra, v'chemra, rava emunatecha, And on the top of page 70, we're going to continue our singing with Hine Matov, which literally says how wonderful it is to be when we come together with our brothers and sisters, and this is certainly true this morning.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שברחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שברחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שברחים גם יחד שברחים גם יחד.
So the next prayer that we will recite together is on page 77. We know that our bodies are a gift from God, and when they function as they should, we're so grateful. And when they don't, we know it's not as good. So we bless God who created our bodies. Let's join together on the top of page 77. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom, you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware we would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar umafli la'asot. And after we recite the blessing for our body, we recite the blessing for our soul. We recognize and remind ourselves that the soul that God implanted within us is pure, and that the spark of the divine dwells within each of us. Let's join together in the middle of page 78. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai my God, and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biado nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol besar ish. And then on page 80 through 84, we have our blessing for daily miracles, things that happen all the time, and sometimes we just don't notice them. We're just so busy that we don't take time to notice some of the gifts. So we're going to chant together on the even number pages, beginning each verse in Hebrew and concluding each verse in English. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor. And on the top of 86, we find our blessing for the study of Torah. We recite this blessing during our worship service because many of the words that we will recite this morning come directly from the Torah. So we're going to recite this blessing using the same tune with which we just chanted. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. We continue in the middle of page 89. This teaching comes from Maimonides, one of our greatest rabbis. There are 8 degrees in the giving of tzedakah, each one higher than the one before. To give grudgingly, reluctantly, or with regret, to give less than one should, but with grace, to give what one should, but only after being asked, to give before one is asked, to give without knowing who will receive it, although the recipient knows the identity of the giver, to give without making known one's identity, to give so that neither giver nor receiver knows the identity of the other, to help another to become self-supporting by means of a gift, a loan, or by finding employment for the one in need. We're going to continue in the middle of page 91. I invite you to read with me. I find by experience, not by reasoning, but by my own discovery that God is near me, and I can be near God at all times. I cannot explain it, but I am as sure of my experience as I am of the fact that I live and love. I cannot explain how I have come to live and love, but I know I do. In the same way, I know I am in contact with God. I invite the congregation to please now, as we continue with the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. Please rise.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please remain standing. We're going to continue on page 110 with our blessing for creation. We'll join together in English this morning. We know that creation is a gift from God and that we have the responsibility to take care of this beautiful world that God gave us. Let's join together. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy, you illumine the world and those that upon it. In your goodness, you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai. In wisdom, you form them all, filling the earth with creatures. Be praised, Adonai, our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer hameorot. And in the middle of 113, love your neighbor as yourself, you said. And light-blinded we saw that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us. As we climbed, fell back, and climbed again, your Sinai of life. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael ba'ahava. We continue now with Shema Yisrael, the watchword of our faith, declaring there's one God and one God only.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated as we continue with the chanting of V'ahavta, page 116.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווה היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohechem. Let's join together, let's continue responsively in the middle of page 121. The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart. Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor, asked God. We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High. Please rise. Tzur Yisrael Kula, V'ezrat Yisrael, Ufedei Chinumecha.
Davi Yisrael, Kol Aleinu Adonai Tzedakot Shemo, Kadosh
Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai, Kol Yisrael. 124. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. 126. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Israel. מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחלקי חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים רופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו מדשני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. We continue on page 130.
מקדש את שמך
בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו, אדיר אדירנו אדיר מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, אבינו מלכנו, ומושיענו, ישמיענו, ורחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהינו, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, ודור ודור, הללויה. ודור לך, ולנצח נצחים קדושך להקדיש, ושבחך לאלוהינו מפינו לא יחוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated. We join together in English on the top of 132. Those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. The people that hallow Shabbat will delight in your goodness. For being pleased with the seventh day, you hallowed it as the most precious of days, drawing our attention to the work of creation. 135. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. And 137 in the middle, we continue responsively by paragraph. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer to life, to peace, and to joy. Let us feed on the love of goodness. Let us drink from the love of goodness. Restrain our thirst for excess and cleanse our hearts to serve life well. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levarcha b'yira na'avod. Now, on the next page, we come to the Hoda'ah. That's our blessing of Thanksgiving. When we worship in the morning and in the evening, we always have something to be thankful and grateful for. And this morning, rather than reading words on the pages of our prayer book, I invite everyone to turn to someone next to you, in front of you, behind you. We'll take about 20 seconds and share something that you are thankful for today. It's clear that our blessings are many and bountiful. So as you continue to share, you can listen to our prayer for peace, Sim Shalom, page 140.
Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. V'rachamim. Sim Shalom. Tova uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova uvracha. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha. Sim Shalom. Tova uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova uvracha.
As we continue to pray for peace and work for peace, which continues to elude us, but there are pockets, even in our city, where people are making peace. We know that members of our congregation met with Spirit-filled New Life Church, trying to build bonds between the Black and Jewish community. We know that the Epiphany Catholic Church reached out to us in love and friendship, expressing their love and support for us. And Ed was so moved that he sent a letter to the editor of the Courier Journal asking that that letter be published. Peace, we must continue to work and strive so that our community and our countries and even our homes represent more closely the world that God intended for each of us, to love each other, to care about each other. Sometimes it's just a kind word or a smile, holding the door for a stranger. All these acts tip the scales closer towards peace and towards harmony, which is what each of us wants for ourselves and our loved ones. We continue now silently with Tefillat Halev, the prayers of our own hearts.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, וגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. O say shalom bimramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'emeru, amen.
So at this time, I'm going to ask the congregation to turn to page 244 for Seder Kriyat Torah, our service for the reading of the Torah. I'm going to ask you to please rise as the ark is opened, and I invite Shalom Malka to the bima to carry the Torah.
En kamocha ba'Elohim Adonai, ve'en kama'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim,
Umemshaltecha
bechol dor vador.
meduot milchama.
Lo yisakoyel
Goy chereb. Lo yemeduot milchama. Please be seated. So this is really a really beautiful and special moment for Ed and his family, for me as a rabbi, and I would say for our congregation and all who are present this morning. So first I'm going to call up our Torah reader, Ed Gould. Ya'amod Yisrael Ezer ben Shimon Ba'al Korei. And now I'd like to call for the Aliyah, Ed's children, who I know he loves to the end of the world and back, Kenny, David, and Robin. Ya'amdu Chaim Tzvi ben Yisrael Ezer, v'David ben Yisrael Ezer, v'Rachel bat Yisrael Ezer, la'aliyah la Torah. Here you guys go. That's for them.
Do they touch the Torah first?
Yeah. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Amen. I'm going to ask the congregation to please rise. Ed will be reading from the Ten Commandments, and we rise when the Ten Commandments are read. Kenny, could you hang on to this right? Right, great.
Let's see here, where are we? Vadaber Elohim eis advorim ho'ele lemor. Anochi Adonai Elohecha Asher Hetzitaka Me'eretz Mitzrayim Miveis Avodim Lo Yehelecha Elohim Harihim Al Panoi Lo Taselecha Fesel V'chol Tamuna Asher Pashamayim Mima'al V'asher B'oretz mitochas V'asher B'mahayim Mitochas la'oretz Lo tishkav elehem V'lo tavdeim Ki anochi Adonai Elohecha Elkanah Poked Avon Avo Al Banihim Al Shledishim V'al Ribeim Lisanoi V'yosech Chesed Lahalofim Lo Havai Ushomrei Mitzvotai Lo Tisa Eshem Adonai Elohecha Lashav Ki Lo Yinakeh Adonai Es Asher Yiseh Es Shemo Lashav.
Yasher Koach. Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
Throw money.
It's supposed to be candy.
Okay.
Amen. That was a lot? No. It was part of the Ten Commandments. All right. I invite everyone to please be seated. Yasher Koach Ed, we're so proud of you. All right. Feel free to take a seat. At this time during our service with our Torah, our sacred text before us, we call to mind our loved ones who are in need of prayers of healing of body, mind, spirit. Our prayers are with Lev Dickerman, Leonard Glazier, Jim Todd, Larry Goldwyn, Rich Goldwyn, Donna Gould, Mike Sheehan, Maggie Barbieri, Brad Parkins, Erin McElvin, Terry Anderson, Gerald Barron, Evelyn Waddell, Soon Lee, Rivka Batfrimit, Alva Steffler, Christine Taylor, Sharon Pressman, Susan Zapita, Beverly Tarbus, Lisa Duval, Susan Charlton. I invite everyone here, whether you're a member or a guest, if you'd like to say the names of your loved ones aloud whom you would like us to keep in our prayers this morning, please do so as my eyes meet yours. As we hold our loved ones in our hearts and pray for God to bring healing, we must remember that we also need to continue to be a source of comfort to our loved ones during their time of need. We join together now in our Mi Sheberach prayer for healing, which can be found in the middle of page 253. It is now my pleasure to invite Mark Smith and Ed's granddaughter Eden Scarborough to the bima to lift and dress the Torah. I ask the congregation to please rise.
Yad
And now I would like to invite Robin to the Bima to read the verses from the Torah in English that Ed chanted so beautifully this morning. Ed chanted the first 3 of our 10 commandments. So come on up, Robin.
God spoke all these words, saying, I, Adonai, am your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods beside me. You shall not make for yourself a sculptured image or any likeness of what it is in the heavens above, or on the earth below, or in the waters under the earth. You shall not bow down to them to serve them. For I, your God, Adonai, am impassioned God, visiting the guilt of the parents upon the children, upon the 3rd and upon the 4th generations of those who reject me, but showing kindness to the 1000th generation of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not swear falsely by the name of your God Adonai, for Adonai will not clear one who swears falsely by God's name.
I invite the congregation to now rise as we return the Torah to the ark.
Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree
Of life to those who hold fast to it,
and all of its supporters are happy.
it is a tree of life to those that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Please be seated. So now, after having read from the Torah so beautifully, I invite Ed to come on up and say a few words. Don't have to ask me twice.
I'm supposed to say a few words? A few words. Okay. You know, this instance makes me think of my old rabbi, Rabbi Rudman from Anches Fard. And Rabbi Rudman was a brilliant man. He was at Anches Fard for, I think, about 48 years. And he was known for long, long sermons. But he was only about 5 foot tall, maybe 5'1". So in order to get the congregation relaxed, he would always say to them, as you can see, I'm a short speaker. So don't worry. I want to thank everybody for coming today. I'm not sure if you came here to get a little down-home religion, or if you came here to make me, to make myself look at me and see that I made a fool of myself. But at any rate, I thank you all. I'm very, very honored that everybody came here. And I would like some of the members of Temple Shalom to maybe they could be instilled to do the same thing I am, that I did today, because I think it's good for the shul, and it's really a lot of fun, and it had been a lot of fun. The rabbi came to me about last October, about 5 months ago, and she said to me, Ed, how would you like to read the Torah portion of your bar mitzvah again? And I said, what you talking about? Because basically, I can't read Hebrew without vowels, and besides, I don't think I ever read my Torah at my bar mitzvah. I don't think it was a style back then, or I know in Boston, nobody did it. We read the half Torah. So this was an opportunity, and I thank the rabbi for doing that. My family and I love Temple Shalom for its multifaceted programming. We love the rabbi, and especially for the many friends we've made here. And I'm happy to tell you all that Temple Shalom is alive and well, and the future is bright. The rabbi asked me last October if I would like to read the Torah, and I told you about that. And I came every Thursday for lessons, and I learned a lot more than reading the Torah. And the rabbi has no idea what I'm going to say here. But I learned that we have a rabbi that is doing a fantastic job in all areas of running this temple. And especially in one area that I noticed, that the area of Tikkun Alon. Tikkun Alon means that we're repairing the world. Coming from a semi-Orthodox, conservative background, I never heard of Tikkun Alon. And I think it's a wonderful thing. But she spends an inordinate amount of time working on repairing the world, not just repairing the synagogue. And some of the programming that she's done was working on building bridges with the black community, working with them to better our relations, developing programs with Christian organizations and different churches, organizations to gain a mutual understanding, working with immigration agencies for the resettlement of the immigrants from Ukraine, Syria, and Afghanistan. And what could be better than that in trying to repair the world? And so she does many, many more mitzvahs all day long. And I want to thank her on behalf of the congregation to give a positive view of Temple Shalom to the community. In the eyes of the community, and more importantly, in the eyes of God. So I want to dedicate this Shabbat service and this luncheon that we're going to have to Rabbi Beth Jakowitz Schotner, which took me about 4 months to say that. But I want to congratulate her in doing a fantastic job for the synagogue, and we love her.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you. I'm going to ask you to stay here 1 second. So, Ed, and I need to step on the step stool, because I really am short.
Is it short speech?
Yes. So, Ed, I just want to say to you that you have worked diligently these months. As you said, you came every week. We worked together. As they say in Hebrew, you know, like shavarti et hashainayim, like you broke your teeth, so to speak, right? You like, and like I see Shalom is like laughing, right? Like you worked really hard to accomplish this, and you did it, you know? And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so honored to be standing with you. And as we've talked about, and as his family knows, in Judaism, the rabbis, you know, who wrote the Talmud and such, you know, around the years 500, they talked about the span of a person's life. And the span of a person's life was considered 70 years, which means that when you're 7, and 13 is the year of bar mitzvah. So when you're 70 plus 13, then you have your second bar mitzvah. Now, Ed is not yet 83 years old, but God willing, next year he will be. So this is like his prelude, right, to his...
What did I get myself into here?
So God willing, you will have the health and the desire. I know you have the intellect, and we could take it a little at a time as we did this, but I would love for you to have the honor of officially having a second bar mitzvah. I also want to say a few other words to Ed and about Ed to you. One of the things that I know is that Judaism, Yiddishkeit, it's in your kishkas, it's in your soul, it's who you are. You come to synagogue Shabbat mornings, whenever you're in town, you know, whenever you're healthy or not, you know, have something of family obligation, but 98% of the time you are here on Shabbos morning, because that's part of who you are, it's what you do. And I know that you are one of the few people in our synagogue whose all three kids are members of a synagogue. Thank you for being members of Temple Shalom. But many of our members your age, and even those a bit younger, their kids are Jewish, but they choose not to affiliate. And I know that that's a big influence of you and the model that you have shown for them. This is something I've never seen, and it really impressed me. When we were getting the boys and Robin's Hebrew name, he takes out his phone. I thought he was going to call. No. In his phone, right, with all their phone numbers, he has the Hebrew name of every one of his kids. Like, who does that? And I thought, wow, that speaks volumes of what Judaism means to you. You live it. It's in your soul. And the last thing I want to say is this. In this week's Torah portion, in addition to the Jews getting the Ten Commandments, Moses has a conversation with his father-in-law, Yitro, who was a Midian priest. And he knew that Moses was a leader, but he saw that Moses was just trying to do too much, and his father gave him this sage advice, but you could have given Moses this same advice. He said to his son-in-law, you're doing too much, you're going to wear yourself out. You need others to help you. And you, as a successful businessman, you who came up with the idea and then created and got people to follow you to do bingo as a leader, both, as I said, in business, in your family, and with bingo as just one example, but it's a big example. You understand that it takes many to accomplish things. So I applaud you on all of your accomplishments. And last but not least, our weekly meetings have given me a chance to get to know you better, which I have enjoyed. And I think it's given you a chance to get to know me better, which I enjoyed. So mazel tov, and I love you. Thank you for your kind words. Okay, so now it is, let me just tell you a few things going on at Temple Shalom. We have, Nick, this coming Friday night, if you're available, please join us. We have the Asaye Ensemble, which is a drumming group, the leaders from Ghana. They're going to be here with their drums. They're going to enhance our Shabbat service. The service is being sponsored by Linda Klein and by Mark Smith. Linda, in fact, is in the drumming circle. It would be great to support her, but also it'll be a really different type of Shabbat service, and I think it will be really upbeat and enjoyable. So please try to be here this coming Friday. We just ask that you RSVP because we're going to have an oneg and we don't want to run out of refreshments. So that's the only reason to RSVP is if you will come to the oneg, which we hope that you will. Also, I just want to say that in March, the Men's Club is going to have a breakfast, and Shalom Malka, along with Bob Thiel, wrote a book, and they are going to be guest speakers. And so if you're able to join us, word is, there'll be information coming out. Please support the Men's Club as well. So Those are the two announcements I wanted to make this morning. We're going to begin the concluding portion of our service on page 282, the middle of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach. Please rise as we open the ark.
Aleinu v'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tei gedula l'yotzei b'reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
284.
שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומשב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו כך כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד
287.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו
Please be seated. As we continue on the bottom of page 291. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. If you are here to recite Kaddish for a loved one, you're invited to rise when his or her name is read aloud. This morning we remember Seymour Bergman, Esther Bloom, Sam Cohen, Gunther Eichhorn, Paul Kohlers, our founder, Faye Levin, Robert O'Brien, Sylvia Pollack, Loretta Reeser, Milton Reeser, Miriam Mimi Roth, Ethel Schulman, David Tasman, Jean Winner. We're in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for the Israelis that were killed last Shabbat on the way home from synagogue. Eli Mizrahi, Natali Mizrahi, Raphael ben Eliyahu, Asher Natan, Shaul Chai, Irina Korolova, Ilya Sosansky, also for Tyree Nichols. And we mourn the loss of a 6-year-old boy and a 20-year-old young man who were killed yesterday when a car intentionally ran into people standing at a bus stop. Zichronam levracha, may their memories be for a blessing, and may they rest in peace as we rise together as a congregation reciting the Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'izman kari v'yimeru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olamei olamaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudasha berichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'yimeru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru, Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved, as we say together, Amen. Please be seated. Our concluding song can be found on page 322, Ein Keloheinu.
Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kamoshienu, Micheloheinu, Michadonenu, Michemalkeinu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Before we reconvene for a wonderful Kiddush luncheon next door, I thank Sheila for leading us in music and Rich for allowing us to stream our service. We're going to recite two blessings, Kiddush and Motzi. I invite Ed to the bima. Kiddush can be found, Vishamru, and then our blessing over the wine. That can be found on page 300, and then we'll say our blessing over the challah. So come on up, Ed, and we could do page 300. And next Wednesday is Ed's birthday, so let's sing Yom Huledet Sameach. Happy birthday. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
And many more. Here you go. All right. Please rise.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית העולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. ובא
לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. חיים.
All right. And now Motzi. We join together.